mod on that? Oh wait, I don't have a con mod. It's a 0.
If you have a con mod,
I think
yes,
it's my
but
camera, isn't it?
No.
I don't have a con mod, so
I have 2 hit points.
Guys,
I have 1 hit point. We are 1, 2, 3.
How did
And
you
the
get
psychic
1
has
hit
the
point?
most. The psychic has the most.
Bro,
Do you have like
Sid, have
some
one.
kind of weird disease or something?
I guess.
well, audience, welcome. I know you're confused by all of that chat. We're speed making characters as we're talking, because we didn't know this was going to be a show. Our regular game was canceled tonight, and so we are doing a one-shot of a game I've been prepping over the last few weeks, and I've been planning to run for at least 2 years. This is Stars Without Numbers, Sons of Gold. Based on how this goes, I'll be making changes to the Sons of Gold prep that I've already done, which you can find on YouTube. And, yeah, it could mean in the future a campaign based off of it. This is a trading game, and the players are not going to be shooting people up or traveling in their spaceship to adventure in exotic places, although that could still happen. The primary purpose is to get rich and die hard. Let's introduce everybody and then jump in. And speaking of, I want to note this thing right here, this logo, someone made that when they heard that we were running this because they're so freaking excited to see Sons of Gold finally in play. They've been to all of the GM prep sessions. They're so happy to get this logo out. So, Saul Tang, who are you? Where can people find you, and what do you do?
I'm a streamer. I also have part-time D&D and a bro. And sometimes I do therapy for some people. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Saulfang. I also am a community manager, the Brosec community, along with me and 2 other guys who have founded together to help people who have gone through dire duress, be either depression or anxiety or paranoia, and try and help them get better day by day, overcome social awkwardness, and become a better human being, hopefully.
Perfect. Also, I think you stopped bank robbers as your day job.
Not
Not ironically. I mean, I've heard you talk about stopping bank crime.
So that's about 3 situations. But to make this short, simply put, it happened 3 times in 1 month. And a guy who didn't like me, who's not even a coworker or employer, whined to a manager about it. So apparently because I was not there, these robberies happen, or attempted robberies. So they're like, hey, we're going to move you somewhere else. So they removed me from my post. I'm still working for my company, but now I'm on vacation, I guess you could say.
It's crazy.
Yep. But hey, I'm living life. And I did my 24-hour stream.
True, you did. And you
And
basically
I
haven't slept. And your power just went out.
Yep.
Life
And
is very hard.
I've been up 36 hours. I need to go to bed. Somebody
Speaking
save me.
Speaking of someone who stays up for 36 hours making videos nonstop, Sid Alpha, who are you? Where can people find you? And why are you constantly making videos?
Because why am I constantly making videos? Because I like driving people insane.
True.
Unfortunately, that was never more literal than the past week. If
I know. I've been
following
following
my
that.
channel, oh my God, you don't even know. So much of it, we just decided, between a bunch of us, just decided we're just not going to say this because people do not need to know about this stuff. But it got pretty legit there for a while. Myself and a few other people received direct death threats over the course of the past week. It's been pretty interesting.
Welcome to the club, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time it's happened, but it's the first time that it's ever happened because someone was actually upset with me. Normally it was to get at someone else in the past, but that's a story for another time. So, but yeah, so lots of news coming out of my channel over the course of the past week. And every single time I thought, okay, I'm going to take a break for the night, something else would happen. Just, nope, can't do it. Have to let people know. So, which is fine though, because my channel suffered another explosion of viewers. So suffered.
Must be hard.
So difficult, your life.
I know.
At current rate,
Chat's already calling you Audible Chocolate. I'm literally cringing.
I'm on track to break 50,000 by the end of next week. And if things keep going like this, there's every possibility I could hit 100K by the end of the year.
Fantastic.
I'm not going to get my hopes up, but there is a possibility of it. We'll see. So yeah, lots of video game news, more news than I ever wanted to do. I'm actually going to be working on some reviews this weekend, finally, for the love of God. I've actually been playing a game that I'm really excited about, and I've been enjoying the shit out of. It's called Rebel Galaxy. If you saw any of my recent videos, I've been using it in the background. It's not a spectacular game, but for the size of the company that put it out and what they did with it, it's really good. And for its cost involved and everything, I'm really enjoying it. It kind of reminds me of um, a smaller, lighter version of Freelancer from way back in the day, except not with there's no real voice acting or anything like that. But
Really?
it's
That's
been pretty
interesting.
enjoyable. It's been pretty enjoyable. And yeah, other than that, I've just been trying to fight through. I've been over the course of 4 days this past week, I had a combined total of 5.5 hours of sleep. So I'm still recovering from that. But yeah,
I'm with you there.
I got a solid 6 hours last night, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Fantastic. Kelsa.
Hello, I'm Kelsa.
Are you gonna tell us about how you haven't had any sleep either? I feel like I'm the only one here.
I got a great amount of sleep.
Thankfully.
This weekend, being Tuesday and Wednesday for me, I drove down the coast of California, and had a romantic getaway with my lady, to celebrate 10 years together. So we wound up going on a tour of Hertz Castle. We drove out on Pismo Beach and watched the sunset, and then we got stuck in the sand, and then there was a huge amount of mosquitoes. Uh, and then we just went back to a hotel room and went to bed early, before driving back up the coast again the next day. And so despite driving for like 6 hours each day, still got plenty of sleep, so that was really good.
Chat has something to say. They say that those that fight evil can't sleep. That definitely explains how I get 8 hours every day. You do what you want, evil. You do what you want. I will passively allow you to happen.
Oh, wow.
True.
Well, shite.
Evil. They are always hiring. I'm just saying.
And that's why you got Slytherin on that test.
I mean, I got Slytherin because I have a strong work ethic and I enjoy power.
You know, I was actually
This is
surprised I
true.
got Slytherin because of my lack of work ethic.
Wait, Kelsey got Slytherin?
Welcome to the House of Winners.
I'm actually
Welcome
trying to figure
Slytherin.
out if I'm surprised about that.
Okay,
or not.
I didn't take the most recent one, but previously when I have taken sorting tests, I've wound up in Slytherin
No, man.
or Hufflepuff, and I feel like it's going to be a tough call.
As long as you're not Gryffindor. I mean,
Ugh.
that's
Never.
they're
Gryffindor.
the worst.
When I was a teenager, I thought that I was Ravenclaw, but then I realized actually I hate schoolwork, and I'm not nerdy about stuff that I don't care about, and I don't care about a huge amount of things. So kind of went from there.
When I was a kid,
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted to
fair.
be Gryffindor, and then as the books went on, I came to a slow realization that Harry Potter could get away with literally any crime, including time travel, and never be held accountable for it.
Yep.
The only person to ever call him on his bullshit is an escaped felon from jail, currently evading prison. Gryffindor is the actual worst. All right. So speaking of actual worst things, we need to talk about rolling dice and making characters. So
Yes.
everyone here has rolled their stats up already. I think you guys have all rolled your HP, and it's basically horrible.
I rolled my
Oh,
money.
extremely
though.
horrible.
I rolled my money.
All three of us are basically the epitome of a glass cannon.
It's true. It's true. Let's do character classes. Sawfang, what did you take?
The warrior. And
Fantastic.
my background is security crew, and my training is exchange enforcer.
That's fantastic. I know a good planet that you should come from where the exchange still operates.
Well, with the idea in mind, what you told the game, well, security, just
Yeah.
make sure all the traders are okay. Exchange Enforcer actually has business, so I didn't know how to handle
Yep.
people
No,
who are really
business is a
and who
good
can talk.
business is a good thing to have. We'll get to that.
It really
Yep.
is, because I don't have business.
Sid
So
Alpha.
please take it.
Rich, why don't you tell us about your character's class, background, and training?
My character Walker Dow is
Yeah.
I am a noble. I come from planet unknown, has not been divulged yet.
We'll work it out.
And I am pilot. I fly. I do things like that. I keep you all from dying horribly, so you can die horribly in other ways. It's very fun.
Kelsa, class, background, training package. CBT. Oh, it's not as good as ASL. All right. Well,
It's not.
damn it, AOL days.
Oh God.
You remember that back in the day? You'd pop into a
Um,
chat room and be like, ASL?
God, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wendell Hansen,
Why?
a psychic con artist, and rogue psychic.
So you're okay. Let's just be clear here. You get
Yeah.
people to give you money, and you're also secretly a psychic.
Uh-huh.
All right. I just want to ask: are you a telepath?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
even worse. Especially.
I didn't say I was making a good guy. I said I was making an edgelord.
All right, that's true. You did say that. You did say that.
You did.
I warned you.
Wow, chat is on fire today with the trolls. All right, perfect. I mean, we're right where we want them. What's your other psychic discipline beyond telepath? And is telepath your primary or your secondary? So you get two disciplines. One is the one you always have to level, and the other one is just. Blah.
I haven't decided my second one yet.
Okay.
So give me
We'll
a
get
second
to it.
on that.
We'll get to it. All right. So a quick note as you're setting up your skills. Saul Tang wasn't here for this. In order to do trading, you need the following skills to get your advantage roll. Your collective business team will add the total of your best business skill, your best culture for that planet, and the best intelligence or charisma modifier you have. Those will give you an edge in trading that allow you to pull in greater profit. Also, Sid, we've talked about it, but the navigator of the ship needs to have at least navigation 1, possibly 2. You need 1 just to make jumps between space.
Okay.
Is this using the beta rules? No, we are still using the original Stars Without Numbers with the Sons of Gold expansion. All right, let's talk about homeworlds. I'm going to do a quick description of each world with things that you would generally know of it. You will pick a world or sector that you are from, and you will have the culture of that world. You will know the languages of English or Common. I think it's actually just called Common. It's just like a trade language that everybody knows. And then
it's just called Common.
the cultural language of your world. So the first sector we're talking about is Hanan. The planet is Papa Michael. The capital city is called Kievan Rus. The culture is a Russian, Eastern European, Polish mix. They are an actual communism with an elite caste called the Monte Karlins. They're locked in Tech Level 5, advanced pre-fall of technology bubble cities that float around the world. They themselves are TL3. They have cell phones. They're 20th century. They're pre-internet. However, they are excellent biologists, and so the things that they make are gene-engineered plants, viruses, biological weapons of mass destruction, and slaves. They consider their gene-engineered slaves to be less than human and trade them around as part of their lifestyle. If you want to be from that planet, you speak Russian. The next system is called Gatare. The planet is Arcturus. It's led by a man called the Caesar. His name is Harold Gouda, so Caesar Harold Gouda. This world believes that it is the only one to have survived the scream that destroyed all of the worlds. The corrupt government controls all incoming trade and communication, and they only accept ships that fly to the South Pole so that no one can see them on the northern continents. They've launched a effort to acquire vast material from themselves. The cronies of the government don't want people to leave because as soon as they do, the government will no longer be in power. The Caesar has recently launched a corporation called the Caesar Zaibatsu, which is engaged in a kind of ethnic purification of the aliens of the sector. Speaking of those aliens, they live in Sector Zaphiropolis on the planet Sharifa, which is also populated by humans. It is the planet of the Turgan, who are a squid people that have 6 tentacles on their face. They love peace and joy. Their religion, the Iris of the Seventh Eye, is sweeping through human space with vast millions of converts. Tourism is the major industry on this planet. They are also tech level 3, and their only attachment to space is with rocket ships they fly out to their asteroid fields in order to mine something called ferrium isotope. They had no idea how valuable it is. This is the only mineral in the entire sector that can be used to create spike drives that travel between planets. So, the Caesar Zaibatsu has arrived and claimed the asteroid field and has threatened to destroy the planet unless the aliens stop coming out and trying to mine it. The sector Philemon contains the planet Sagari. Horus is a immortal, unbreaked AI that seeks knowledge of all human culture and humanity at all times and maintains a watchful eye everywhere it goes. Its goal is to share all knowledge with everyone and will stop with no effort in order to teach everyone everything that has ever happened, including what's happening right now. It has a bit of problem getting off-world. No one will sell its ships. Its people live in relative peace and harmony, but they are also completely beholden to their god Overmind. Its stated plan is, as soon as it gets off-world, it is going to try to raise the like cultural awareness of everyone everywhere, so that there will be peace for all times. The most important planet in the sector is Papandrau in the Thora sector. It's also the only location of the Exchange of Light. It's the only bank. The Exchange Consul runs a hereditary, corrupt Neo-Buddhist sect called the Exchange. They are opposed in a Cold War with Near Eastern, Christian, Middle Eastern ethnic mix. It is a planet covered in low-intensity warfare, lots of espionage and spying. It's also the primary trade planet. The final sector is called Medhuri, the planet Protagoria. It is a German, Pennsylvania, Dutch Puritan mix. The planet believes that they also are the only ones to have survived the Scream, and that survival of the fittest, they must be the most pure humans in the galaxy. They're slowly coming to the realization that they're not the most pure humans in the galaxy, but maintain it to everyone else loudly as possible. So, Rich, I'm going to start with you because you're a noble. Which of these wonderful planets did you want to come from and be a noble on?
Hanan was the Russian one, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I'm taking that one.
All right, your last name is now Monte Carlo. Monte Karlin, sorry. So, what's your new full name?
Karlin. Walker Monte Karlin.
Perfect. Excellent. So, by the way, you're also a super genetically engineered ultra Uberman.
Of course I am. Who better to lead all of mankind?
Of
It's
course.
fantastic.
Sawfang, did any of those planets jump out at you?
I'll be the place where all the Russians are from. Yeah, I'll speak Russian.
Okay. All right. Cool. You're also
Language is
from
good.
Hanan. Yep.
Yeah.
Your last name is also Monte Carlo now. You can just add it behind everything else. And
Okay.
you
Because on
too.
Hanan, we're all brothers. We're all equals.
Exactly. Except
know
for
if I
those
can do
gene,
it.
except for those gene slaves you have. They're different, you know.
Well, property, you know, chattel.
was
Everyone
the,
needs them, you know.
I don't know if I
it's
could do
really
Russian.
talk
That's
about
gonna be
it.
so hard.
well, you can be from somewhere else. This is space, you know. You don't have
Yeah,
to be from
The
nearby.
language is important.
So, that last one that you were describing.
Oh, the
with me,
Pennsylvania Dutch German Puritans. They are from Protagoria.
Protagoria, that's the name of the planet.
The planet, yep. The sector is Madhuri. It's the little one off in the middle of nowhere.
Protagoria. That sounds like a great place for a con artist and secretly psychic to have grown up.
Okay. You speak German.
Sweet.
Excellent. So, does anyone have a positive intelligence modifier?
Nope.
I do.
All right, you get an extra language. Because the sector has Horus in it, you can pick literally any language throughout human history.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to scrolling down. Oh, there's languages. Well, let's see. You said I have Russian and
You have Russian,
common.
you have Common.
Actually, can I change my choice to Thora?
Yep. Yep.
Should I troll and take ancient Chandalian?
Chandalian is not a human, thank you very much. And Chandalians are not from this sector of the galaxy. All right, so you're from Papendreau?
I really like the way you neglected to mention whether or not they could possibly exist.
I mean, the galaxy's very
Well,
big. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. That's good.
So
It's
you can
perfect.
be from a variety of places. They speak any Asian language or any Middle Eastern language.
Okay. My inner weave calls up. Japanese it is.
Very well. And your last name doesn't have to be Monte Carlo anymore.
Cool.
Unfortunately, there's no space Australians yet, but we can say the word Mallard a lot. Maybe there's Mallard class starships. Everybody gets 400 plus 1d6 credits, which is not a big deal because you're starting with 2 million credits as a group.
Jesus Christ.
Okay then.
I mean, this is a trading campaign.
Okay, so was
So
it?
I guess we can go get kitted out then.
I mean, if you want to spend it on equipment, you can.
I mean, that 2 million should be for
For
to fill our
business.
cargo hold.
Oh, that too.
It is. We do need to purchase things to be able to sell them, to make money. Otherwise, we're doing nothing. We're just flying around.
That I do understand. But first, you must be well equipped, sir.
Before you think 2 million's a lot, let's run through what you do have.
I have no idea.
You have a headquarters on the system of Thora, which is where Saul Tang's character is from. In Orbital Collective 7, which is a collection of shipyards and space stations, there is a station called Tiberius. You have a corporate holding located on that world that you've just been given by the planetary government. It is a simple storefront where people can stop in and exchange to buy your goods. Or you can buy it. So it's literally just like a little hole in the wall where someone shows up at the terminal. It's like the stores from Mass Effect 2 and 3. The vendor that lives there tells you, use the terminal. And they're like, but I want to buy from you. And they're like, use the terminal.
Terminal.
That's exactly.
I'm on break.
That's what you guys have. You also have 2 million Thorin credits. Unfortunately, as this is a trading campaign, those credits are worthless everywhere else in amounts greater than 10,000. Other governments do not trust the Thorins, and so their credits are worthless, because what if they go to war with Thora? Now they have a bunch of useless data. So buying things on one planet, selling it on the other, you get their local currency.
Okay. Now, just so I'm clear on stats, because I've never drawn up a character for Stars Without Number before.
Yep.
So our background and our
So everything
training
that you
package gives us those different skills brought to a
gives
0.
You start
And
0, and then I think you can start with up to a 2.
They start at
And
0.
I think with an expert, I have 3 skill points to spend after that.
Let's see.
Correct.
Here. So let's see. Your background package, I think you get 1 in everything, right? With background packages? Am I correct about this?
So yeah, you go from when you take a background package, you go from a -1 to a 0
Correct.
in those 4 skills.
Yep.
Then with your training package, you bump each of those from either a -1 to 0 or from a 0 to a 1.
And then I
Okay.
think you're correct as an expert. You're skilled in everything except like sci-tech. And what did you take? Pilot? So yeah, you're gonna get navigation again. You definitely well, okay, vehicle space is on there. Perfect. So, this probably won't be hugely necessary, but I have created a ship finances document. I'm going to share it with the class. That includes chat. Using this, I found it on the internet. Unfortunately, it doesn't calculate interest rates, but you can see here that I'll be able to, and you will as well, be able to keep track of all of the costs of everything you need to buy, which include maintenance for the ship, fuel, ship payments every month. You have to repay the government because they're giving you 2 million credits, but you owe them 6 million for the ship. This is part of a pilot program. And they're trying to encourage people to get trading. So, any questions before we jump in here and get started doing some numbering among infinite stars?
Yeah, I'm just hitting my skills up now. You said piloting, or was it navigation?
Navigation. You absolutely want to have. You have to have a 1 in navigation in order to turn the ship's engines on.
Let's see, tech, astronautic.
Perfect.
There's a lot of skills.
Yes, and as an expert, you get a lot of them.
Vehicle and vehicle space.
Fantastic. So, we just lost Saul Tang. He'll be back in a minute, and then we'll describe life, the world, everything. I'm going to call your attention, for those that are here, to the trade tables. They aren't going to make a lot of sense now, but if you resize them, I assure you, once we walk through the tutorial, they'll make more sense. I'll just flash this here for chat to see. Might be a little small for chat to see. Hopefully it's big enough. And we're starting on the planet Thora, which has the following trade table. Boom. Real quick.
There we go.
We need a name for the ship, by the way. We also need to know who's the captain.
1, 2, 3, not it.
I mean, you're a noble who flies a ship. I think you might be the captain.
I think you might be the captain.
I was actually thinking not. But
I mean, if you want to have an NPC captain, that's fine. Very well. The Millennium Enterprise. The Centennial Hawk. Indeed. No ship names? I mean, listen, I have a whole bunch of ship names.
Destiny. I love it.
Your ship is just called the Destiny?
Yes.
Very well.
I'll take it.
Awesome.
I want to cut back to when Destiny first came out. Some guy took the names of all of the pronouns in Destiny and drew them onto a high school style leather
mural?
binder. Yeah, and he made it's like the darkness, swarm, hive, just a ghost. And I was like, man, that does make sense. It does sound like a high schooler wrote the storyline.
It does. It really does.
All right. Saul Tang, you ready to get started here? Any questions?
I'm good, man.
All right. We begin looking out at a starfield in the darkness of space. In the lower left-hand corner, white text begins showing up. System, Thora. Orbital Collective 7, Station Tiberius. And then the camera begins pulling in, and we can see that we're inside of a space station looking out through the glass. Crew of the Destiny. And we come zooming out onto the 3 of your characters. Let's get a quick description of what the 3 of you look like. Saul Tang. Tell us about Marcus Graveheart.
Yeah.
You're all edgelords now.
Well, funny enough, he actually isn't. He was a well-averaged height of a man, about 5'9". He's got this weird cowboy hat on from an old friend of his. He wears something almost resembling, almost like a kimono, like on the top half, but the bottom half is basically woven body armor pants. And he has a chainsaw on his back, which is a monoblade. Kinesis hand wraps that kind of glow, but they're fixed to his gloves. And he's got a shotgun nearby, and he's just smoking a pipe.
Perfect.
And he's got a very nice Clint Eastwood mustache.
Lord Monte Karlin, what do you look like?
Monte Karlin, he's early 20s, shoulder length, dark hair, keeps it in ponytail and back. Is very good. Keep it very neat out of the way of face for piloting, which I am pilot. I'm very good at that. 6 feet tall, fairly trim, somewhat nondescript in his dress and mannerisms.
That's strange, being an
Except for his, of course, well, I should say his physical mannerisms. His personality is he definitely is someone who's been a bit privileged for his entire life.
Indeed. I forget your name,
Vendel
Kelsa.
Hansen.
That's right. Your name is Hansen.
Vendel Hansen is stocky. He not strong, but very wide. He's got short brown hair, crop close. He likes to wear long jackets. And he often smokes.
Excellent. So, the three of you walk onto your new ship. We can see that Destiny is written in gold paint on the side of a white ship. This thing is huge. It's actually bigger than the station and about 8 times larger than the largest ship around the station. It's shaped like a hexagonal rod. And then it has a section in the middle that's kind of squished, a section in the front that's squished, and a gigantic drive section of engines in the back. And as you walk into the monolithic cargo bay area, a hologram appears projected next to you of a extremely non-threatening, tanned white male, about 5'10", dark hair, blue eyes, and says, "Hello, I'm your ship's virtual assistant, Bill. If you have a question, feel free to stop me at any time. Welcome to the Destiny."
Well, thank you, Bill. Very nice. I see they went with the gold lettering on the paint. Very well done. I hope they used the real gold like I asked.
I have no data.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought. Thank you.
If you'll follow me to the bridge.
Oh, follow to the bridge.
Follows.
So, the inside of the ship is, again, hexagonal rod. The exact middle of the ship is where all the crew quarters and the bridge, anything beyond engineering and sensors. The back of the ship has a plate for engineering, and the front of the ship is weapons and sensors. Everything else is wide open space except for a series of shuttles that can be used to travel to the planet. Just a vast, hugely empty cargo hold. And when you walk onto the bridge, all of the terminals begin lighting up. The captain who you've hired nods to you, and your virtual assistant, Bill, goes, "According to my data, we are currently located in the Kevlin sector, System Thora, out Orbital Collective 7, Station Tiberius, Dock 4. We have almost completed our undocking procedures. I've processed tray data and compiled it into forms you can understand. You may need to resize your eye in order to output it completely." And you get a pop-up that looks a lot like this. Boop.
Let's see. Credits, housewares, post-tech.
Taking a look at the sector trade data. Oh, sorry. If you're looking for a quick trade deal, buying consumer goods on Thora is a great way to start. Taking a look at the sector trade data, the system of Zapharopolis is currently accepting consumer goods at a great price. and they're easy to trade with. So, if we look over at Zaphiropolis, let me explain, out of character, what these trade tables mean. Because it'd be weird to explain them in character. Anytime you stop to buy bulk goods, I'm not talking about like you want to buy 10 rifles and a car. Anytime you want to buy hundreds of thousands of an object, or like a cargo hold of a planet's supply of weapons, you need to buy it from the trade table. You'll roll 2d10, and that will show you which of the 10 objects on the planet are available for bulk sale. Anything that has a tag, like consumer, will be altered. So on Thora, there's a -2 to all consumers. That means everything that has a consumer tag, like post-tech housewares, is shifted 20% in your favor. So if you want to buy it, it's 20% cheaper to buy it here. On the other hand, Zaphiropolis wants to buy consumer products. They have a +2 consumer tag, which means you can sell it for 20% more there. Trying to manage those trade tables is important. Your personal skill comes into play as well.
If we buy it at the 20% less and then sell it for 20% more, profit.
That's correct. However, we need to now consult the sales chart. When you go to buy something, you roll 3d6. You add the trade table modifiers. You check your personal skills, which is the business skill plus the culture skill that we checked on earlier, plus your intelligence or charisma modifier. And then you add the friction of the world, which is how much the government wants to screw you over on the deal. Who do you have to bribe? What transport payments or taxes do you need to pay? What kind of time costs are you looking at? Based on your role and those modifiers, the chart will move up and down. So it's not just picking the best places, you also have to get lucky.
Okay.
So now you're trying to swindle people or smuggle or something.
Yes. Speaking of smuggling, Bill will go on. However, trading on Zaphiropolis comes with several risks. Their currency is a radioactive isotope of therium used in spike drives and is lethal to humans. Handle with care. The planet Sharifa is home to the race of the Turgans, a peaceful squid alien that appreciates human luxury. Their planet contains substantial amounts of therium, as does their asteroid field. They are a tech level 3 civilization, barely capable of creating nuclear energy. Warning! Sharifa is currently under blockade by the Caesar Zaibatsu. Any attempt to trade directly with them will require running a blockade. The Zaibatsu currently control the therium asteroid fields. Several notations from spacers and travelers indicate outrage being felt at this violent seizure of goods. In addition to trade deals such as these, your corporate headquarters may receive additional requests. 2 such requests are currently outstanding. Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Major Taniko Sashimoto has scheduled a meeting with you. She wishes to offer her platoon services to former Black Op agents. Your local factor, or merchant, can use these operatives to solve problems for the local government, reducing the friction you meet while trading. I will not judge you for such actions. The government of Sharifa, specifically the sublimate divinity, name unpronounceable in human tongue, has requested traders to buy a fusion core and nuclear inhibition field projector and run their blockade. I calculate that these items will allow the Turgan to block nuclear strikes by the Zaibatsu, significantly reducing the threat of nuclear bombardment. The Sharifans are offering a 100% return on these items and have yet to find a buyer after 5 years. They're also readily available in the Thora system.
Interesting.
Do you have any further requests? I'll be here if you need anything.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
We really need to buy an upgraded personality package for that one. He's a bit dry.
As you say. But I believe we have business. So what do you believe is next, sir?
You're a little low, Safang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, how's that? Better now?
Yes.
Way
Oh,
better.
the mixer is just so dumb today, Mike. Okay. He looks towards Lord Monte Carlo. I'm not going to get used to that. I really am not.
Perfect.
Well, I will follow your lead, sir. I'm here to make sure that you are all well and safe, and the cargo and the money.
Well, I'd recommend we're at Thora right now.
Yes, you are in the orbit above the planet Papa Michael on Thora.
Well, I'd recommend before we start getting into any sort of legitimate trouble, we try and stick to maintaining it normal things, consumer goods, that sort. Yeah. Think that might be our best bet for our first move. We could start getting our feel for the governments on these planets, start forming relations, and then we can start doing things a bit more lucrative.
I agree.
So, do you want to head on out to the market and attempt to begin buying goods?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
Yeah.
I think our intent here is to fill our hold with consumer goods.
Fantastic. So, no matter
Post
what
tech
your intent
housewares?
is,
Yeah.
you might not be able to find what you're looking for. So let's assemble your business expertise real quick. What is the highest business skill in the group?
Does anyone have business?
I got 0.
0 is good, because if you don't have any, you have a -1. Does anyone have Culture Thora or Culture Traveler?
I have Culture Traveler.
All right.
There you go.
Do you have Culture Thora at higher than a 0?
No, just 0.
Okay. All right. You have a 0 so far. Best Intelligence or Charisma modifier. Does anyone have a 1 or a 2?
I
I have a 1 in both.
Okay. All right. So your expertise level is currently 1.
What about the persuasion? Oh wait, that's a 0. Never mind.
Nope. You use that to talk to people, not to get them to give you stuff.
Aw.
All right. So every world has a trade table. We are about to look and see what you want to find. Saul Tang and Kelsa, can you each roll a d10 real quick? And Sid, I need you to roll a d10 to see if any trouble happens on the world. It'll be your fault if you roll badly.
I got a 10.
I got a 6.
I got a 4. Something bad happens.
Probably not. This is actually a pretty good world. The trouble table is not a 4. Okay.
Oh, right on.
Based on your 10 and a 6, we can see here that for sale on Thora in bulk are currently exotic jewels and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colonial materials. You can attempt to push the trade table again. It will take 1 week and increase the friction of the sale by 1, which means things will get more expensive as you wait longer.
See, it was exotic jewels, and what was the second one?
Colonial materials.
Hmm.
And exotic jewels are very difficult to sell here because they have a +2 modifier, which means they cost 20% more.
Those.
So, if you would like to dive again, your friction will increase by 1, and you roll 2d10 again.
Do we want to push it? YOLO it, maybe? What do you guys think?
I'm willing to try again.
Okay.
I think
do it.
I don't think we're gonna have a good chance selling any of
Live
that.
dangerously. We're not going to make any profit by selling at loss.
Everyone roll a d10 again.
7.
So the week passes quickly. The 3 of you are constantly in meetings or looking over the ship, which still has yet to undock. Sid got a 10, which is good. Currently for sale on the planet are small arms energy and medical equipment.
Oh, those sound much easier to sell.
I think there is a place that buys military somewhere in the sector.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
So if we want to try to get the goods that are in like the negative, like -1 military, that way we can sell this someplace
System
that's
of
plus military.
Gataray is in desperate need of military equipment.
Yes,
they have a
that would be-
+2.
They'd be very
but their
good.
currency is oxygen.
That's true.
And
But you can spend it to buy stuff on that planet and take it someplace else.
Yeah, we can
that's
take
true.
and trade.
The other thing to note is that they also have a +1 on tools, which medical equipment tools is. Both of the things
So-
you're looking to buy sell very well on the planet you could go to.
I think that's a good deal.
Which deal do you want to approach first?
I'd probably say get these small arms, the military stuff, that we can
I think so.
exchange it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do we want to give them like energy or projectile?
You only get energy. That's the one that came up.
Yeah.
Okay, energy.
All right. How much energy would you like to buy? How many units? Each unit of them costs 10,000 credits and takes up 1 ton. Your ship is capable of holding 3,400 tons. It's super massive. You can move.
Jesus.
In terms of movement, you can move about 600 people for 14 days in this ship.
Well, we could always fill it with some chattel and make some extra money that way.
They don't sell slaves here.
Well, that's a shame.
So
They really should. Very good investment. Very useful.
We just need some interns.
The only literal only place to buy slaves is the planet you're from, Rich.
We should go there then.
we should start with getting a fair number of weapons. We don't want to overburden.
Say 1 million credits worth.
Oh boy,
That's
calculator.
fair.
All right.
So I believe that would be 100 units.
Yep, 100 units. That's what you're aiming to buy. All right, let's see.
Technically, there's the we'll leave
It's
it
not
at
gonna
that.
come out to 1 million credits. It's
Yeah.
gonna be quite different.
But that's
Expect-
close enough. Close enough.
Yep. So on Thora, your friction is currently 4, and you have a -1 because of the trade table. So you now roll 3d6, and we're gonna modify that number by 3. Who wants to make the roll to see how screwed you are?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I was about to remember. Okay, go for it.
I'll let Kelsey do it.
So 3d6 plus 3.
No, just do 3d6. We'll modify it by 3. So you want to buy low.
So
You have
slightly
base
above
price.
average.
It's going to jump up 3 points to 13. So it's actually going to cost you 1,200,000 credits to buy this much.
That's
Let's
fine.
do it.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
The government kind of takes about 1/5 of the price in bribes. And your cargo hold now has 100 credits of mostly legal energy weapons. And let's be clear here. You currently have 100 metric tons of weapons. That's a lot of weapons.
It's a lot of guns.
I think we should definitely also.
I
pick
received
up some
more on
medical
my birthday.
supplies. We should definitely get some medical supplies as well. They're gonna use this many weapons. They're gonna need them.
This is very true. Where there are guns, there are usually bullet holes. People leak when they are shot. I learned that one myself.
Okay. You want to head on back to the market and grab those medical equipments?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Let's roll 3d6. Medical equipment has no price modifier on this planet. So you're still looking at a +3. Who wants to make the roll?
Here, I got it. Oh,
Fantastic. 9. No, that's good
that's-
for you,
that's
buddy.
good.
That's good. It gets shifted up to a 12. So, I'm sorry, how many units did you want to buy?
They're
They're 50,000 apiece.
oh, I see. Low is good on this.
Low is good when you
Aha.
want to sell. I'm sorry, when you want to buy.
Where?
I'm gonna try to play safe. Like,
see, I think that gives us a plus 10% to base price, though. The 12.
Yep. How many units? then?
So
You have 800,000 credits.
I'll try
I would
200k.
So 4 units.
4
Yeah.
units, sure.
Yeah,
we
Okay,
should
so that
we
ends
should
up
hold on
being-
to some reserves for like
Yeah.
traveling expenses and
Gas.
repairs and stuff, and lunch.
So you end up costing 220,000 credits,
All right.
which leaves you with 580,000. And perfect. All right. I know there hasn't been super a lot of roleplay, guys, but don't worry, we're getting to it. As your ship becomes more and more filled, we see the cargo lighters that are on board, like going off, grabbing cargo, lifting it, putting it in the ship. The ship is slowly becoming more filled. It's nowhere near maximum capacity, to be clear. To be really clear here. It's like super not full.
Just kind of standing in the cargo hold looking at it going, well, that's a bit disappointing.
You're using 104 of 3,400, so it's, a fraction full. You also have the choice.
We've got a tarp thrown over it.
You also have a choice of taking passengers. There are 10 people willing to go to the Gatorade system. For each one you take, you will earn 500 credits. So if you take all 10 of them, you'll get 5,000.
I think this would be a very good idea.
I'd like to speak to them before we let them on board the ship.
Hey, it's common practice, That's, yes, of course.
Fantastic.
And then, if we don't like any of them, maybe bring them on anyways, and then sell them as slaves.
By the way, I went teleport as my secondary.
So good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Are you interviewing them all at once, or is this like a one-by-one interview?
I guess I'm probably interviewing them all at once, because I only have empathy, because it's the level 1
They're
skill.
all traveling together.
Okay.
So who's with you? Is it just you, or are you bringing?
I will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll be there
perform the routine security checks as the security crew. I will look over any backgrounds that are allotted and the equipment.
Kelsa, your character Wendell has Traveler, right?
Yeah.
And Saul Tang, your character Marcus. The two of you immediately recognize these guys. The 10 of them are part of a mercenary unit called Legion of Death. They all have, no matter what they're wearing, their right shoulder is visible through either a torn area or they're wearing some sort of advanced clothing that allows it to go transparent. And they have an old-style parachute icon with a knife coming down on it. And they are all men, all in their late teens, early 20s, crew cut, and many of them are either wearing armor or have very large weapons. One of them, who has a gunnery emblem on his left shoulder, says, "Aye, so you wanted to speak to us? A little unusual."
I think so we recognize that they're part of this
Legion
mercenary
of Death
company.
Yep. They have a very bad reputation as selling out to literally anybody to do literally anything.
I also have culture criminal. Does that give me any more insight?
Yes, they are often considered war criminals on most planets. In fact, it's super weird that these guys weren't arrested on the station. Many of them have signed on with the Caesar Zaibatsu, which is the group that's currently bombarding the alien planet.
Yeah, I want to use empathy, which will tell me about strong emotionally charged surface thoughts, different current emotions, and any especially strong emotionally charged surface thoughts on the subject in this subject.
Okay.
It only lasts a few seconds.
He gets a resistance roll, yes?
You may take a mental saving effect throw to prevent the mind reading. On a successful save, I only get a brief impression of current emotions.
He does not save. You get a impression of boredom, paranoia, intolerance. Like he is upset and doesn't like being here.
Yeah, so Wendell just stands there. He's got his his long jacket that's like down to his knees, and he like stares at them all, being like kind of like, why are you even talking to us, and just like lights a cigarette and just stares at them like
They all stare back.
being
There's a lot
being
of
edgelords.
flexing or like checking the guns out real quick.
Not impressed.
Security officer, what's your take here?
So how bad are these weapons that he got on him? Like, how bad is it?
They have a collection of tech level 3 and 4 weapons. They've got, it's not like they have sniper rifles, but they have like bullet machine guns and las rifles. Some of them also have an experimental weapon called a shear rifle, which uses gravitational waves to split people in half.
Nasty.
Okay. Well, I got culture traveler and criminal.
Yep. Yeah. These guys
So-
are. You've definitely heard and or interacted with people like this before.
So, have I heard of tales of people who took these guys as passengers? Did they ever get attacked or anything? Is this
No.
like an ill omen?
No.
All right.
They don't do piracy. They do anything for hire, right?
Okay.
If they attacked a ship, it'd be because someone paid them, not because they just felt like joyriding it.
Okay. So while they're being expected and Wendell is talking to them, I take Monte Carlo to the side. I cannot stop laughing at it. I'm sorry. Sir, they are really well equipped. I don't think we should let them have the weapons. But if we try to disarm them in any way, well, they may be quick to draw it. Though we could. By the way, do we have any other weapons or gunneries or turrets or anything just in case something like this were to happen?
Yes. You have a ship's
Okay.
locker, which means you have any weapon in the book available for up to 40 people. So conceivably, you have several dozen laser rifles,
Okay.
sniper rifles. Anything that's tech level 4 or lower, you have several copies of it.
Okay.
Your ship also has a plasma emplacement.
Is there like something like a brig?
Not really. This is a cargo vessel.
Okay, because I thought
I
there would be
mean-
like a little small pocket where he can just hit the button if they're like stuck in a room and then.
I mean, your cargo holds are open to space. If you
Uh-huh.
convince them to go out into the cargo hold, you can literally just remove the oxygen and float them. All of your cargo will go with it, but yeah, that's what you
Well,
have
I mean,
little
I think
ships for.
I think Wendell like meets up with you guys after he got his impression of them, because he wants to be a part of this decision as well. So we like go into another room like before we decide to take them on or not, whatever.
Mhm.
And so he's there as well. He's like, listen, they may not be good people, but the money's good. They're not gonna screw us.
Very well. Let's just hope the rest of the crew can be ready in case we need to shoot them. That's all.
It's not gonna come to that. They're not getting paid to take us out.
I am meant here for everyone's safety. That is all. I am just merely doing my job.
Fair enough.
Good. We have come to an understanding. Otherwise, we'd all be bled up with holes. Monte Carlo, sir?
Well, you see, I think it's good to have the extra protection on, means we're carrying many dangerous weapons. It'd be very nice to have some extra people around who know how to use them.
Very well. I will keep my eye on them and my crew. Okay.
Okay. All right. Before we have the ship set off and we begin on adventure, each of you needs to pick 2 goals for your character for XP. I know it's a one-shot, but it's good to know where you're going. On top of that, you'll get experience each time you do one of the following things. Complete a trade deal that nets you 20% profit is 100 XP. Every time you lower the friction on a planet permanently, gets you 200 XP. Defeating a significant foe as part of a trade deal or an adventure gains you XP. This doesn't mean killing someone. Social or financial is a method of combat as well. If you have a bonus goal that is your character goal, such as make a trade deal that will net you 20% profit, is your goal, you'll double up on the XP that you get. So if all you care about is making money, you can get some fast XP. Not a lot, but fast. Anybody have any idea what they want to do? I mean, a goal could be as simple as deliver my passengers to the Gataway system.
Do not let Marcus pick a fight with the mercenaries.
That's a good goal. I'm now definitely going to have the mercenaries try to pick a fight. So thanks for that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Welcome.
We're now outnumbered and outgunned.
It's fine. Don't worry
no,
about it.
you
It's
have 10
definitely
crew
fine.
members, so you are literally equally numbered and equally gunned. And your player characters, I mean, you kind of have an edge. Do not let Marcus pick a fight with the mercenaries.
I got make a good trade and successfully defend a cargo from bad passengers.
Can you define what make a trade is?
Turn a sour deal like not in our favor, and then basically flip the table. That would be good in our favor.
Okay,
Like
so that would actually be an adventure. So like if we rolled it and the amount you would sell a deal for is low, you could go on an adventure to like intimidate the buyer to get them to pay you more. So turn a sour deal in our favor. Kelsa, Rich, more.
Deliver our goods and passengers.
Okay. Deliver our goods and passengers. This is the Eric Vulgaris level of things. Now that you've told me these beliefs, I have to challenge them.
It's fine.
Make your lives horrible.
It's fine.
Let's see. So these are goals or things we want to set for ourselves.
Yep.
I want to. I want to double our money.
Double your money. So that means by the end of the session, you want to have 4 million credits.
Yeah.
Or their equivalent. Okay?
That is an impressive goal.
I mean, yeah, that's the kind of goal that gets you a good amount of cash. I'm sorry, a good amount of experience. Second goal. Oh, I forgot Eric was watching.
We love you, Eric.
I mean, I wouldn't call it the Eric Vulgaris method if it didn't matter.
Everyone makes it out alive.
Everyone makes it out. Wow. I mean, okay.
Well, yeah.
That'll never end badly,
It's
will it?
great because it's the psychic. I have the most hit points.
That's true. I forgot.
Yeah.
All right. So
hey, that's a legitimate goal because we're about as tough as tissue paper. So
the ship begins finishing loading sequence. It's been 2 weeks. It's now January 15th. And the hexagonal rod that is your ship begins to shake. The station retracts the gangway, and there starts a music. At first, it's just the sound of someone tap dancing, and then comes in a bass guitar, a light piano accompaniment, some drums, and then like a totally jamming jazz flute as the camera pans its way down the ship past the word Destiny, past all of the pods of the cargo lighters that stand out like little bumps on the side of your ship, towards the engine block, and all of a sudden everything else falls away and the flute just hits a high note and holds it, and an enormous flame half the size of the station begins ejecting from the back end of your ship. And you get a call from the chief engineer of the station, Lord Monte Carlo.
Say that again, sorry.
You get a call from the chief engineer of the station that you were just on.
Yes, this is this Destiny. How can I help?
The man is bawling. Tears are running from his face, and he's got greasy hands and overalls just wiping him. He's like, I worked 10 years on that ship. You take good care of her, Lord Monte Carlo. Oh, I've never seen anything as beautiful as that dry flare. That ship hasn't flown for over 875 years. You take good care of it, or I'll find you in hell.
Yes, well, thank you for all your hard work. We'll put it to good use. Bye.
As the ship begins pulling away, small objects that people have left on the hull begin falling off, some of the paint flicks. And the captain orders the navigator, which is Lord Monte Carlo in a weird roundabout way, to set course for the edge of the system, the only place you can begin your jump out. And you begin getting compliments. You get a specific type of hail from other ships that they send to a ship the first time it leaves its dock, a compliment. And there are a lot of them. There are only about 100 spaceships in the entire galaxy, and you've gotten like 15 compliments from people, all of whom are commenting on the size of your drive flare, because your ship has a highly advanced, one-of-a-kind level 2 spike drive that no one else has.
Well, these are all a bunch of emotionally unstable people, aren't they? Always taking credit for other people's things. Setting a course, Captain.
Okay. The captain, I figure he probably looks, I don't know. Who's my go-to old white guy? Man, I want him to look like the guy from StarCraft Brood War that was the admiral of the entire fleet. What was his name? He's just an old Russian dude with like a giant hat and a huge beard, and he's like, of course, my lord. Navigator, Lord Monte Karlin, set course in. And yeah, as the ship begins moving, you have 2 days of transit time normally, but because your ship is twice as fast as normal, it's just going to take 24 hours. So we cut to a scene in the mess hall 12 hours into the flight, where Marcus, you are being approached by the sergeant of the Legion of Death. He's just like, can I talk to you for a second?
Okay, where am I at? Like,
You're in a mess hall with him.
Is anyone else around?
No, it's just you and him.
And the cameras and stuff, right?
There are there cameras? You're the security.
Yeah, I would have cameras.
Great, there's cameras here.
I would have surveillance. Yeah, dude. Okay. So I'm basically eating miso soup or drinking it. I'm just looking at him.
So he slides in across from you with a bottle of Yingling, or whatever the space user of it is, and he says, "You seem like a good guy. You seem like you're real cut, swole like the rest of us. Like you've seen some things.
I've seen a bit.
You're not like the slaver up at the front of the ship, or whatever Hansen is. Bloody psychic."
Do they know immediately that they're the Hansen's psychic?
There isn't a reason that they should know that. No.
Oh, okay. I was like, how do they know?
He shouldn't know.
I don't know.
That's the thing. He shouldn't know unless Hansen is broadcasting it for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm seeing Hansen rolling.
I didn't even know Hansen is a psychic either.
Well, now you know.
He might be guessing.
So when he says that, I stop midway, sip, and my eyebrows raised.
Listen, man.
And then I go back to drinking, and I'm like paying attention to him still.
I gotta look at your cargo manifest on my way on board. It looks like you're carrying a lot of weapons.
I nod my head. Put the soup down.
You know how it is on ships like this. You know, sometimes business needs to get done. Sometime a crate full of weapons, a ton, might only come in at 900 kilograms. You understand what I'm saying?
Do enlighten me, sir. And I continue drinking.
All right, I'll speak plainly then. What I'm asking for is, I slide you some credits under the table You let my boys take a first draft of what you got in the cargo hold there. No one's the wiser. Not Fussy Boots, not the captain, not Cigarette Man. Just you and me. How's 5,000 credits sound? Make you a rich man.
I would like that doubled, and then you consider it done.
Make a persuasion check for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
Persuasion.
It did not take much to get you to betray your crew.
Wow.
Just a small
Thanks,
amount of money.
Protector.
Yeah, okay,
shit.
a 5. He puts a hand on the table, and there's a 5,000 credit chip there, and he says, 5,000, and that's more than enough.
Fine deal. Just be quiet about it.
I've seen your cameras around here. He like points to them. In about 6 hours, you're going to want to turn them off around the cargo bay. Lose the footage.
Move quickly.
Understood.
I'll give you some time. That's all. 6 hours from now.
All right.
That's all. I'll give you a small window.
We
That's
cut to
it.
6 hours from now, where the 10 members of the Legion of Death are looking through 100 metric tons of weaponry, and they're just like looking for the mini nuke launcher and the giant laser death guns and taking them out for themselves. Yeah, and you lose about 100 kilograms off of one of the crates. You know, just fell off the back of the ship. It happens sometimes. Oh man, they made away like bandits on that deal. So did you. Mark down you have another 5,000 credits that no one knows about.
Yeah, maybe security, but hey, security is a tough job. Got to get paid.
Fantastic. I just want to be clear here. Successfully defend the cargo from bad passengers. Just, I mean... Okay, all right. You made it a goal, you immediately failed it. It's all right. There could be more passengers in the future. All right. The ship reaches the edge of the system. Lord Tithus. No, fuck. Lord Monte Karlin. It's Winter's Edge, okay? Your normal character name is Lord Tithus, not Lord Monte Carlo. You need to make a travel check. So you tell me what system you want to go to. I mean, I think I know, but stranger things have happened.
What system were we going to?
It is a Gataray system.
Gataray, and we are
In Thora.
in Thora. Yeah, Gataray. So that's 2 hexes.
Yes. All right. The base difficulty of a jump is 7. Moving 2 hexes is a +1. Your charts are literally 15 days out of date, so there is no difficulty there. The question is, do you want to try to trim your course and cut a couple days off your transit time?
I don't think there's any rush here.
Okay. All right. You are making a navigation roll at difficulty 8.
So that's 2d6, and then I add my navigation to it.
You should be able to just press the
Should be able to
button
just click
on your character
navigation.
sheet.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. There's this handy dandy thing here right next to navigation that I
Sure.
can just
Please.
attribute. Oh, attribute. It's asking. Why is it
Please.
asking for the attribute? For
Because
navigation.
it's not always the same attribute, but it's intelligence. So whatever your intelligence modifier is will get added or subtracted.
Assisted. I'm not being assisted.
You are not. Wow.
Boom.
Incredible roll. Incredible roll.
I was like, Fred.
So at one instance, we're looking at the ship, and then it's gone. It's just space. And then we see the ship again, and it's a Doctor Strange style fractal. The universe is breaking up around it. And then a few seconds later, it's just like an endless house of mirrors looking at the ship, but in every direction is an infinite amount of ships. An Bop by Hanson begins playing as everything goes like weird pastel watercolor bullshit, and it keeps switching between what the universe looks like every few seconds. For those that don't know how Stars Without Numbers spaceship travel works, you force your way into higher dimensions of being. And as you do that, it propels you forward. So by violently ripping apart the universe, you're thrown from your current location to another location. And if he'd failed his roll, that throwing of violently could have ended with the ship exploding and everyone dying. It's not safe.
Which
Not safe at all.
would have made it a very short episode.
Well, I mean, we could have just had you land on a planet with a Jewish hospital.
Sounds like Pop Rocks, but with people.
Swan song. You don't get the Jewish hospital joke. You never will. All right.
Yeah.
It's an inside joke. Way funnier than it sounds too. Yeah. You are 6 days into travel. You will arrive on January 21st. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're in transit?
Nah.
Oh,
All right, Marcus.
See,
Something happens during transit. The mercenaries offer to start a fight ring in the zero gravity of the cargo containers and want you to join them in beating the hell out of each other. Let's set the scene. It's one of their guys. He's the youngest kid there. He's got very porcelain skin. He looks like he's probably from some sort of Thailand, Vietnam-ish kind of racial background. And he's just like, hey, man. You want to join Fight Club?
I'm drinking miso soup.
Kind of indicates towards the back cargo hold. Fight Club.
I set it down and I go, I'm good. Thank you. I like to watch.
All right. As this is happening, Wendell, you pass the mess hall as the kid slaps Marcus in the face. He's like, come on, bitch, Fight Club? Come on. Come on.
I take my kinesis wrapped hand around and I punch him in the face.
Okay.
No. God, no.
All right.
Yeah, I want to run in there and like pull them apart. Just no.
I want to have him make an attack roll first to see if it hits.
Damn it.
Let's see. Is this one? Okay. What's his AC?
His AC is he's not wearing his armor. His AC is 6.
He's not wearing any armor, so that's 9.
But he has dexterity.
So
damn, that's good.
He's got
dexterity.
a 6. Yes, he's very good.
So it goes from 9 to what? 6?
6.
So he's got +3? Holy shit.
Yes, he's very good.
Okay.
Trust me, there's something special about this kid. Yes, it's because he's a psychic.
Great.
Oh no.
No.
One
You
damage.
hit.
Okay, it was one
23.
damage.
He hit.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
you hit him
he's
right
fine.
in the face. Let's see here. All right. They turn your blows into very focused impacts. So when you hit him, it's like hitting him with your entire body, but on like your knuckle. And so a tooth goes flying out. And then
I drop the miso soup and I just start going really
as
quick.
as you're doing that, your miso soup lifts out of the bowl and splashes you in the face, and it's super hot. Just like
Yeah, no, I'm getting in between them. If I have
Right.
a
Just
teleport
drop
there,
it
I
and
will.
punch it to him instead.
I mean, the soup is physically lifting out of the bowl and hitting you in the face.
I wanted to just like either like
So let's see.
hold it. Bang,
Let's see if he
or
can
whatever.
hit with that. I think he does have to roll
Okay.
to make a attack against you. He needs a 7 or better. Yep, you get hit in the face. All right, Wendell, you're jumping in now that the two of them are. Yeah, no, you.
Stop this. You too.
I'm starting to think of Archer. Slap.
The kid grabs the tooth that's now like knocked out into the air. Just grabs it with supernatural dexterity and starts putting it back in. And you can see it like sinking back into place perfectly. And he's just like, it's a good hit, security man. I'm telling you, you'd be good down there. Have to take the wraps off though.
I like to drink my soup.
Your soup is now all over your face.
Come
I
on.
know. I just go,
Said he didn't want to play. Back
and
off.
then
Well,
Is this the only? You're fine.
Why don't
I'm
you
up
make
on
a
the bridge,
persuasion check?
expertly piloting the ship.
I'd love to make a persuasion check.
I mean, someone has to pilot the ship through the horrible gravitational hole you're opening in the side of the universe. You're literally riding a wave of destruction.
I'm like one-handing
I feel like
the
this
stick while I'm reading a
probably
book.
charisma.
It's charisma, yeah.
Just checking. Not assisted.
Wow.
Wow.
Here's what
great.
happens, Wendell.
Perfect. Brilliant. Yeah.
This guy punches
get punched
you
in
in
the
the
face?
face.
It's great. It's great.
He punches Wendell in the face and pushes you back, and is like, "So, security man, you in?"
I smack him in the back of the head to knock him out.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. And it's 6, right?
Yes, still 6.
Ooh.
Yep, you
That'll
definitely knock him out. He's taken 6 points of damage, and as a psychic, that's a ton of damage. Wendell, you get pushed back, and then like RKO out of nowhere, bam! Marcus slaps him in the back of the head. All of the force is translated right to the back in like a very small spot. The dude just drops down on deck and slams his face into the thing. Blood sprays everywhere. Another objective failed.
This may be a problem.
He'll be all right. And I walk away.
All right, Wendell, you are now alone in a room with a knocked out psychic that is bleeding on the floor.
I'm gonna go find our medical officer. And how far away is that? How far away is like the med bay from the?
I feel like if you
room?
ask the ship, Bill will show up and walk with you.
I was trying to see if I could teleport there and be fancy,
Uh,
but I think I can only
the ship
teleport like
is
10
about-
feet right now.
I mean, oh, there's absolutely no way you're gonna
Yeah,
get
no,
there.
I was like,
The
I
ship
just
is
looked it up. I was
very
like,
big.
never mind.
I mean, 3,400 metric tons of cargo space is a very, very big ship volumetrically.
Yeah, so Bill,
Bill shows up and is like, "Yes, can I help you, Wendell?
can you page the medical officer? Get her down here.
I understand you require medical assistance."
That's right.
And there, like a low red light goes off in the room. Can I ask the nature of your medical emergency?
This man seems to be unconscious. He's bleeding.
Understood. This man is unconscious and bleeding. I'm forwarding these symptoms to the medical doctor, who is on his way.
Thank you, Avina.
Bill stands by as the doctor shows up. He's got an old-style leather doctor bag and a stethoscope. But he's also got cybernetic ears, and it's clear he's jamming out to some sort of music when he comes in.
As
And
you do.
pulls out his Vash the Stampede small-style yellow glasses. And it's
Perfect.
just like, "Well, y'all, looks like somebody kicked the tarnation out of this Texas tornado here. Wendell, I didn't know you hit that hard, sir.
On me.
I don't see anybody else in here."
Doesn't matter.
All right, well, he heads on down there and begins applying some Lazarus patches to the kid. He slaps one on the kid, and he was immediately like, "Gah!" And as he does, his nose begins putting back into place. The doctor's like, "Well, looks like I don't need to fix him at all. Kid, you a psychic?" Kid's just like,
Yeah,
and you
he
can see
is.
teeth like falling out and then whooping back up into his body.
Yeah, like Wendell just like looks down, nods like, yeah, he is. And lights a cigarette and walks away.
The doctor pulls out some drugs labeled MES and stabs it into the kid. Yeah, I mean, the scene would continue, but you just walked out on it, so yeah.
No, I'm gonna walk out on that.
Dr.
Screw
Texas.
that guy. I love Dr. Texas. He's great, but no, I'm walking away.
All right. Anything else you guys want to have go on during your transit between worlds? Perfect. I feel like this is a great time.
No, just chilling, reading my book, piloting the ship, not running into things. It's a nice feeling.
He's one-handing stick shifting it, bro.
This is a good
Just using
time for our
one-handed drive and
break.
everything.
We got 7 minutes, then we'll be back in the second half to see if you can sell these things on the planet and if you'll get a good deal out of it, because some of you really want to make a good deal out of it. Some of you have failed very hard at your life choices.
I should have made different goals than these,
I know
actually.
you made some very interesting goals, and then you immediately accepted a bribe.
That's okay.
It's going to be kind of hard to sell all our goods now that some of them are missing.
I mean, on one crate, 10% is missing.
Yeah, but that gives us a reputation as soon as
I mean, it does give you a reputation of sometimes things fall off the ship.
I mean, we could just ignore that crate and pretend like we only brought 99
Yeah, but we don't
crates.
know.
I feel bad for
Oh
you,
yeah, we
son.
don't
You
know.
don't
That's right. That's right. Never mind. We just don't know.
You get a
God
call
damn
from
it.
a mad buyer who's just like, this crate's 10% empty. How do you pack a 10% empty crate? All right. We'll be back in 7 minutes for the second half. Stick around. Thanks for watching. I don't know why I sound so hostile. Stick around. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.